The triad that used to make ADHD was distractibility, impulsivity, and hyperactivity. We now have changed that a bit to where it's now hyperactivity, hyperarousal, because that's why you'll miss most girls with ADHD is they're not hyperactive and obnoxious and disruptive to your classroom. They're the ones who sit on the back row and daydream, and they're so very smart that they pass. They don't come to your attention. We miss the vast majority of girls with ADHD. When I was in my residency, I was taught that women didn't get ADHD. What they didn't get was the hyperactivity that brought the little boys to your attention. And we had impulsivity. In the last 2 years, everywhere else in the world except the United States, they have added emotional dysregulation. You've probably noticed with the children that you know, but also the adults that you know with ADHD, that they tend to have very strong, powerful emotions that they don't necessarily have moment-to-moment control over. ADHD is extremely common. Somewhere in the 9 to 10% of the human population. And this is everywhere in the world, wherever you go. If you went and talked to the Aborigines in Australia who've never seen a car, never seen a TV, never seen a book, never seen MTV or any of the other flashy media, they would have a prevalence of ADHD in the 9 to 10% range. Whatever ADHD is, it entered the human genome 1 million years ago because everybody has it to the same extent. Charter schools and parochial schools have an even higher percentage because parents send their children to you in the hope that they will get more one-to-one attention. So you're going to be seeing about 1 in every 5 students in your classrooms having an ADHD nervous system. There's this notion that somehow kids with ADHD are not very bright. I've had a lot of people with college degrees, doctoral degrees, have had doctors say to them, oh, you couldn't possibly have had ADHD, you've got a college degree. In my personal practice, I have had 159 practicing physicians, only one of whom started on medication until they were out in practice. People with ADHD are much brighter than the general population. This is just a very simple graph. It is the full-scale IQ plotted out against the age at which they finally got diagnosed. And what you see is that very early on, say ages 14 and below, it's the kids who don't have the very high IQ and don't find the compensations that are detected first, and they perpetuate this minimal brain damage notion from back in the 50s. In point of fact, the average IQ of a person with ADHD is 123, all the IQ necessary to do anything that they want to do. When you then also look at the fact that somebody who takes an IQ test, a WISC or a Wechsler or a WACE, if they're off medication, they forfeit 12 points. So take all of those scores and move them 12 points higher. Right now in the United States, the average age of diagnosis of a person with ADHD is 31. This is no longer a disorder of little children. We now recognize that ADHD as a genetic disorder persists for a lifetime. So also remember that when you're talking to the parents about the kid that you think may have ADHD, remember that at least one parent has ADHD themselves. And so they're not listening to you.